Hi everyone, this is a video that I'm not happy to make, but unfortunately I believe it has to be put out there just to alert some people who might not have heard. Uh, Last month I made a video that was kind of alerting people to a petition that I had seen going around. It was by someone in Russia, I believe, that had started it. And basically he wanted to get 1,000 signatures to protest the fact that in an upcoming release by Paul McCartney in his archive series, there was not going to be a physical disc included for at least 16 bonus tracks. Instead, they were only going to be made available through download streaming only. And I really thought that was outrageous, and so apparently did a lot of the diehard fans in the Beatles and Paul McCartney collectors circles. So I went over and I signed the petition, and I also made a video here with a link to the petition, figuring that I could alert a lot of people to it. At the time that I had started it, that particular video, when I looked over there, at the time there had only been, I don't know, 30, 40 people that had signed it, and I'm glad to have been able to help, because I noticed that once I put my video up there, at least partly through me helping out by alerting people here on my channel and my subscribers to this, it started to go up to 1,000 and beyond 1,000 pretty quickly. And I don't take sole credit for that, not by a long shot. Other people were making this known, including, I want to give credit to where credit's due, most importantly, Paul Sinclair of the Super Deluxe Edition blog, where he did an open letter to Paul about his concerns about this physical media not being incorporated into the new box set. We're talking about Flowers in the Dirt, one of Paul's albums that's coming out on this very ongoing series, where he tries to make it a concise and ultimate edition package, having everything included. And up to this point, if you bought the Super Deluxe Edition of any of these Paul releases for his past albums in the series, you always got everything there together on physical format. But it was announced this time certain tracks, a lot of B-sides, bonus material, good songs, not going to be found within the box itself. You're going to be shelling out all this money for it, and yet you're going to be reduced to having to go stream it instead for the 16 bonus tracks. This was presented out there, and on the Super Deluxe Edition blog, and in this other person's petition. And now there's been a result, a response, and it's dated today, January 24th, 2017. I also want to thank a couple of people who are watchers of my channel. JL Draw, one of the main friends of mine down there, who always alerts me to such things, and a couple of other people that made me aware of this. Thank you so much for that. And I'm going to tell you what the response was from Paul's manager to this little mishap, if you will. This is the gist of it. I want to make it clear that I'm just paraphrasing here. I'm giving credit to Paul Sinclair of the Super Deluxe Edition blog for revealing this, for getting the responses, and he makes it clear that these are not verbatim the exact words by Paul's manager. This is just paraphrasing and the gist of what he said. Just some points. First of all, there will be no extra disc containing the download-only tracks for the package. So I didn't think really that the petition was going to do anything. I signed it and made people aware of it on the hopes that it might. So right there and then, it's a flat-out no. Supposedly, Paul McCartney himself wanted to limit the physical media in this set. He has final word over these sets, what he says goes, and he didn't want too many discs in it. Supposedly, Paul McCartney wants to embrace the future and sees streaming as the future of music, with subscriptions to streaming services continuing to soar. And he wants to be a part of all that. Of course, we know Paul always wants to be part of what's now and everything. Even if it's at the, slap in the face detriment to his loyal fan base. And I want to tell you right from the bat, if I can interject here a minute about this, the people who these box sets and special editions are designed to are us, the diehard fans that have been with Paul from the beginning. Generally, people out there are not just going to care to stream these bonus tracks. These tracks are for us. Nobody out there, the average Joe six-pack, as they call it, the average streamers who stream everything and anything new, are going to care about this. That's the first thing I want to make clear, okay? The manager says that if streaming services weren't the future of the industry, then more box sets would be sold. Oh, really? How cocky is that? You think the reason that Paul's box sets aren't selling many is because people want to stream instead? Did it ever occur to you maybe they're too expensive? Did it ever occur to you that maybe these box sets are geared to just die-hard completists like us that collect all this stuff? Unreal. He wants to make note also, a little pride comes in here, wants to make it clear that Paul McCartney is not losing money on this. These box sets, supposedly. Although he's not losing money on the box sets, in the future, there may be a time when they're not too profitable, so there's no guarantee that these are going to be going on indefinitely. How do you like that? So even if you're collecting all these box sets, we don't know if the record company is going to decide somewhere in the future that maybe it's not profitable to do this anymore. Supposedly, Paul is not losing money on these box sets so far, but is coming sort of close to it. So that's where we're at. No wonder they cost a fortune, and they're geared everything but the kitchen sink usually to people like us, not made for the general public to stream. And then he says that although there were tracks omitted from the Flowers in the Dirt box, they were not considered to be germane or important to the project itself. You know, they were just like extra kind of things, and they weren't really part of the Flowers in the Dirt project. I don't buy that. I think that's just coming up with any old excuse in that regard. He does say that there's a possibility in the future that there could be a physical box set, and a comprehensive expanded set of physical media of Paul's material with Wings, you know, a big Paul McCartney and or Wings set coming down. Again, this is just paraphrasing here. It's not exact words. Now, if that's the case, well, one minute you're saying that there's no market for physical media and everybody wants to stream and that's the future, but then somewhere down the line in the future, you say talks are ongoing right now and discussions are going on about maybe putting out a comprehensive big box set. I hope you are. For one thing, get McCartney's long-rumored Cold Cuts set out there. A big box of all Paul's B-sides, rarities, stuff that didn't appear properly on normal albums. Put all that stuff out there. And then supposedly McCartney's team is working on one of these archive projects at a time. You know, and you know, there may be a time, as I said, where there's no longer demand, but as of right now, they are like discussing future installments of albums such as, quote, Wildlife and the Red Rose Speedway. Personally, I wouldn't mind seeing Off the Ground. I wouldn't mind seeing Back to the Egg. But, you know, we all have our favorites and most wanted ones. Anyway, I'm not saying I'm not going to buy this for sure. I don't want to tell anybody out there not to buy. You'll have to make your own decisions. But it is true that I am completely on the fence about this. And I'm thinking of making a stand here. Up to now, I've supported this series and bought every one of the archive sets. You're not going to be doing anyone or yourselves any favor by not including everything in this package of the deluxe set. So if you think you're not selling that many right now, don't think you're going to be selling more by eliminating physical items in here and making them exclusive to streaming or downloads, whatever you want to call it, only. As far as I'm concerned, you know, people want to own stuff physically, a lot of people. That's why vinyl has come back big in the last several years by young people. Young people are discovering that there's fun and there's something to be said about it, owning a tangible physical item, not just having something in the clouds there, lost in cyberspace. Long after Paul's gone, it is the physical albums like this, physical discs that will outlive him and people will be able to have and play. Not something lost in cyberland. That's not really owning anything at all.